So first of all, what are some names that you guys think of in the NBA currently or even all time when you hear ISO basketball? Current and also, any player
You
that comes to
said-
mind. What are some names of NBA players
Oh, yeah.
that come to mind when you hear the term isolation basketball?
James Harden,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's one. Give me some more.
Kevin Durant,
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
Anthony, yeah.
Well, give me some current ISO guys, if you guys can think of that.
Probably
Like this past year, who would you say is like the top 10 isolation scorers in the NBA? Go.
I would probably put SGA up there.
SGA in isolation
SGA.
is pretty good in isolation.
Hallie.
No, Hallie's more of a playmaker. He can score in the ISO, but I just think
Brunson is definitely up there.
Okay, good.
for sure.
Good
Yeah, Brunson's
pull.
definitely up there. Anthony Edwards could be up there,
Okay.
I think, as well.
Okay.
As well as like your typical LeBron, KD.
KD, yeah, LeBron.
KD,
both of
good
them.
answer. Kevin Durant.
Luca, I'm unsure about. Luca's
Right.
very good in the ISO, but he is a very willing passer.
And also, he's more like a pick and roll guy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So here, I'm just gonna give you guys, just gonna read off the list of the top 9 isolation scorers in the NBA this past season, and you'll be surprised. Okay,
Really?
so
Okay.
at number 9 we have Shadon Sharp.
Shaden.
I'm sorry, Shaden
Shaden
Sharp.
Sharp.
Is that not surprising? When I saw it, I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then at number 8 we have Spencer Dinwiddie.
That's not surprising.
That's not surprising.
No.
That's-
Remember,
Okay.
I watched this dude for a decade on my team.
Fair
It's-
enough.
He plays ISO ball.
Fair enough. Number 7 we have Jason Tatum. You guys didn't mention Jason
forgot
Tatum.
about Tatum, yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Number
why? It's like, because ISO's always in a negative conotone,
Yeah.
and I don't like Tatum hate.
Yeah.
So he just didn't come to mind.
Yeah. Number 6, James Harden. You guys said that. Good pull.
It's obvious.
Number 5, you guys did not mention is Kyrie Irving.
Ah, yeah.
Kyrie,
Oh,
don't forget
yeah.
Kyrie. Number 4, Jalen Brunson. Good.
Yeah.
Number 3, Devin Booker. You guys didn't say.
Forgot about D-Book.
Number 2, we have SGA,
Yep.
and number 1, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
had to have been KD.
Right. So keep those guys in mind when we get into this next part.
Okay.
And so the official question is, as we dive into this pace and space era of basketball, which we're in right now, do you guys expect the isolation style of play to die or to live on? Okay. Now, what do we expect? Why? Answer why, and then have a follow-up question as well.
So
Okay.
basically, is ISO ball the new status quo, or is it dying?
Basically.
Okay, I'll let you go first, Antoine.
I would say it's slowly dying, but it's not there yet because we still have ISO scorers in the league. And you do need those 1v1 matchups in certain times in the game.
Good answer.
Specifically, final minutes when it's a close game, other times as well. That just makes the game a little more interesting. People want to see more 1v1 type ball because it's more enjoyable. It reminds them of a 1v1, of course. But I would say players are chucking up threes now. That's a big problem. So I would definitely say, and there's no ISO on 3-point shooting, obviously. You just get open,
I mean,
make the shot.
You can
ISO
play
on
ISO
three.
into a
You
three.
could.
That's basically what
Yeah.
Harden did whenever we do go between the legs, step
Pretty
back
much.
three. That is
Yeah.
ISO ball.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I would say it's slowly dying because of the era. We're in the era of shooting.
Yeah, positionless basketball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. True. We're in the era of shot taking.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's big thanks to that.
Yeah.
So I would say not as much anymore. So yeah, I would say it's dying, but slowly. But it's still around. We just named off 9 guys that we know as ISO ballers.
Right, and they're all really good.
Guys. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so you're saying it's a slow death.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll ever completely die out, or do you think that's something that will never go away in the NBA
I don't think it'll go away.
ever?
No.
Okay, got it.
No.
Tyler, what do you say to that?
All right. So my answer is kind of like it's twofold essentially, because I don't think it's dying, but I know that it doesn't work anymore. So you're never going to go away from the ISO scoring. You're going to see guys like James Harden or Luka Doncic or Kevin Durant or whoever just cook in their bag, one-on-one situations, whether you're driving to the hoop, taking a floater, taking a step back three, mid-range, whatever. You can do anything from an ISO situation, and we know those guys are capable of doing so. at an elite clip. I mean, just look at someone like DeMar DeRozan's mid-range numbers. They're through the freaking roof.
Yeah.
Someone like Cam Thomas, who's been really efficient from the mid-range specifically. He's not he's not one of those superstar names, but ISO funnels down to natural scorers. But it doesn't work anymore.
Wow.
Not in this era of
Why?
the NBA. Take a look at the teams that have succeeded over the years. We're done with players. We're done with you do everything. Because we saw, if that was the case, I think the Nuggets would have won the championship the past 2 years. Jokic can't do everything by himself. He needs the team around him to function. That's why they barely win games when he has more than 40 points. Because more than likely, everyone else is playing like garbage. So you get yourself into a situation now. I mean, you watched the Big Three with the Nets, right? You realize how many times when Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving or James Harden had the ball in an ISO situation where you saw the other two guys, you saw Joe Harris, you saw Bruce Brown, you saw TLC just sitting in the corner doing absolutely nothing, just sitting, waiting, and once the shot either went in or missed, back the other way. And then let's look at the 2023 Nuggets. There was a play, I believe in Game 3. Michael Porter Jr. had the ball kind of in the high post, gave it to Jokic right at the elbow. It was Jamal Murray, I think, that passed it to Jokic. Before Jokic even got the ball, Michael Porter was already cutting to the basket.
Yeah.
So to me, that is what works. And you look at the teams that have won, guys that can ISO score, but that's not their mentality. Someone like Nikola Jokic, someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I know we give him a lot of flack with the free throws and stuff, but he gets the guys involved, and they function as a team.
Right.
Tatum and Brown, they have their ISO moments, and that's why it doesn't work a lot of the time. But the one year they got it together was when they started playing like a team and started playing complete basketball. Same applies to Milwaukee. Giannis is not really an ISO guy. That's just not his game. So that team functioned like one big ecosystem. So you're looking at these teams that are doing well now. And again, the Golden State Warriors, the same thing. Stephen Curry is as pace and space as it gets.
Right.
So that's the era I think we're in right now, where positionless basketball, spacing the floor, shooting a bunch of shots,
Right.
and double bigs.
Right.
Double bigs are the new era of the NBA, and I think it's a way to kind of stop ISO ball.
But
in a
versatile
sense.
bigs. Though.
Exactly. You need bigs that can shoot. Or if you do have a non-shooting big, like Rudy Gobert, for example, you counteract him with a big that can shoot, Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns, whoever.
Right.
So for me, I don't think ISO will ever die because that's just the bread and butter of scoring in the NBA. You're going to need those moments, like Anthony said.
Right.
But if you want to win a championship, if you're trying to actually make a name for yourself, not as just a stats guy, if you really want to win silverware, then you got to dial it down. You need to start playmaking. You need to start getting your teammates involved. Once you're playing like a team, like everyone talks about how Jokic just isn't fun to watch, which I just don't understand. I'd much rather watch a guy have his team engaged on all cylinders than watch someone just dribble between their legs and take a step back midi 20 times in a game.
Yeah.
And I'm not a single player fan. I like watching team sport.
Yeah. I mean, that's just good basketball.
Exactly.
Right. Passing and all that stuff.
And the same
Ball movement.
The same applies to some of the finals losers as well, like the Pacers. Like Tyrese Halliburton, again, is one of the biggest proponents of movement, spacing, shooting. Stuff like that works. And that's why I believed so much in them last year.
We see it right there, like with the example you just brought up, the Pacers. Space and Pace, Pacers. It's funny that's their name, but they are a team that doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't even have one superstar. And they were able to make it, that far. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, I think he's on the edge of superstardom, but I think he's still a star, in my opinion.
You can make the argument for either.
And you definitely could make that argument that he is. But, so a team like that, right? I mean, Halliburton's probably like the one star that they got. And then, of course, Pascal Siakam as well. But after that, it's like everyone else is just really good, but they're not stars. So you don't have a team that's super top heavy. Right. Like you had like in Miami where it was Bron, Wade, Bosh, and the rest were kind of like scrubs. Or like even in Brooklyn with KD, Irving, Harden, and the rest are scrubs. Like we're moving away from that, like you were saying. And we're going to an era where everyone is really, really good. And everyone is really locked in on how to play together as a team rather than isolation and passing the ball to the guy with the best matchup. It's more about ball movement and, plays and running plays and stuff like that. So
And that's
I
something-
think that's pretty cool.
That's something I kind of want to piggyback on before I get to your second part
Yeah.
of the question. Again, one of the biggest luxuries that no one talks about, we obviously talk about good point guards, we talk about good centers, talk about all that stuff. Do you realize how good an elite role player or two is? And if you look back at last year's finals, like Lou Dort, Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nemhard,
yes.
guys like
McConnell.
that, TJ McConnell, and if you look back at previous championship matchups and stuff like that, like guys like when Duncan Robinson was in his heyday with the Heat with Max Strus, Gabe
Yep.
Vincent.
Yep.
You look at Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon. When you look at rookie Jordan Poole,
Yep.
or you look at PJ Tucker when he wasn't geriatric, like
Or Alex Caruso from this past year.
Alex Caruso, those guys are so vital.
Yes.
And you look at these super teams where, yes, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, they're good role players,
Yeah.
but not to that level.
Yeah. One thing I want to say before I get into the next question.
Obviously, Bruce Brown came good later
Yes.
on, but
One thing I want to say is that those players you just listed, they used to be in the previous era. They used to be just luxuries that you had in your team. It's like, oh, cool, we have this really good role player. Cool.
yeah.
They used to be just luxuries, right? Now, in this pace and space era, they are necessities if you want to win basketball games. You need, like you said, they are vital to winning basketball games. And so I think that's cool. We're in this new era where everyone is important on the team from top to bottom. So that's exciting. Now, for the next question, it's kind of more of a lighthearted question.
Okay.
I'm just going to list off the NBA eras and like the word that describes the era best.
Okay.
And so in the modern NBA, we have pace and space, like we already said.
Yeah.
In the 2010s, it was like kind of like a transitional era. And then in 2000s, it was an isolation era, as we said before.
Right.
In the 1990s, it was the hand-checking physical defense era. In the 1980s, it was the fast-paced transition offense era. You think of Magic Johnson and the Celtics as well.
Yeah.
And in the 1970s, it was the playground of innovation.
I like that.
Right? Isn't that cool?
I like that.
Anthony, you heard my question. So the question is, what would be you guys' favorite era based on the play style of that era and why? So like your favorite era to watch.
Okay.
What will be the most exciting?
You go
Based
first.
on, I mean, I can list it off again if you guys need.
How many eras were there? Did you list?
So there was a modern NBA, pace and space, 2010s, the transitional period, in between period,
Yeah.
2000s isolation offense era, 1990s hand checking and physical defense era, 1980s was the fast paced transition offense era, and the 1970s was the playground of innovation.
Well, I think it's a little. I don't want to say uneducational of me to pick an era where I wasn't alive in. Just because we're not educated on that time for
Right.
watching the games.
But just based off the style of play.
But if you have if you don't like today's era, like if you don't like the pace and space, and maybe you want hand checking to come back, there's nothing wrong with picking
Right.
the 90s,
Yeah.
even though you were
Right.
alive for only like 1% of it. It's still, that's what you find entertaining with basketball, and that could be an acceptable answer.
I mean, the playground of innovation is so interesting, maybe because I like the name so much, but
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
that time, everything was just being discovered with
Experimental.
basketball and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work. So I guess bring some of that back. Like, I know we talk about a lot of experimenting in basketball, majority with like the 4-point line, like all-star stuff, and a lot of other things that I can't list off the top of my head right now. But I would love for the game to change. I know, to be honest with you, the NFL and the MLB have changed incrementally more than the NBA has in the past 5 years when it comes to rules. Like, we've seen the kickoff rule, we've seen dynamic kickoff in the NFL.
Right.
We've seen the pitch clock, and now we're seeing automatic ball strike challenge coming to the league next year for baseball.
Right.
A lot of big changes that influence the game.
Mhm.
We haven't really seen a big NBA change in the game that's influential for
Yeah.
time. Maybe like coaches' challenges, but that's kind of all come over
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Every league has coaches challenges, but we're not talking about a rule that's, oh, this is gonna change pace
Well-
of play. So I would definitely go back to the innovation for just bringing new things to the game,
Okay.
like you said.
Okay. That whole era was kind of like an experimental era because it was a new game for a lot of people and they're
Exactly.
seeing what works, what doesn't.
Yeah.
So I don't think we could ever get back to that level of innovation.
No, never.
It's probably impossible
No.
at this point unless you completely change the game. That's the
can't-
only way.
You can never reinvent the original wheel.
No.
That's just
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah.
But
you
you,
can't do that.
you can make changes.
Right.
And,
To like
you
rules.
know-
I mean, they have done that. The NBA has
Oh, a lot
adjusted
of
how the
things.
refs call the game multiple times throughout the
Yeah.
eras. But what would you say, Tyler?
It's so tough because I love the pace and space era, but I don't like how players interpret the pace and space era.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have the biggest problem with teams shooting 53s a game, but I have a problem with the free throws. I feel like we're definitely like the pace and space era is great, but the problem is the game is too fast for some of these players. They want to slow it down, and that's where you get into free throw shooting contests. So I wish I could just take the pace and space era and put it in the 2000s.
It's so good.
That's just exactly what I want.
It's perfect era.
Because like for me, I enjoy watching fast-paced basketball. I know so many Nets fans hated the fact of Ben Simmons being on the team. But do y'all realize when he was on the team, when he was on the floor, I understand it was for 11 minutes, but when he was on the floor, he was moving up and down as soon as he got the ball, outlet pass, run down. It was simple, it was smooth, it worked. You get healthy versions of this right now in the NBA. Look at Tyrese Halliburton. I know he's not healthy right now, but the way he functions the game, the way he functions, the way Steph functions, the way Jokic functions. Jokic is not a fast player, but he's quick in his mind. He's able to just be one step ahead of you, and that essentially is quick,
Yeah.
quick-witted. Throw the outlet pass down, throw the touchdown. It works.
Yeah.
And you combine that with the toughness that the early 2000s brings,
Yeah.
that's what this is missing because I feel like the pace and space era is perfect,
Yeah.
but this came in a soft era.
I have one interesting thing to say, and this is off script.
Yeah.
You have certain anomalies, certain players that played in a certain era, but they would really benefit from playing in a different era.
Oh, yeah.
And so a guy that comes to mind is Kevin Love. He played in kind of that transitional period.
Yeah.
But if he played right now, like if this was his prime right now, I feel like he would really benefit from the pace and space, outlet pass, quick passes and stuff like that. I
Oh,
think.
for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, if any players can come to mind of players that would benefit in a specific era, please say.
I think Draymond in the 90s would have been one of the greatest players ever.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
I think. Look, I have to bring it up. I think Russell Westbrook in the '90s or the 2000s would be outstanding. That's just my opinion. It wasn't 3-point shooting contest. yet.
Exactly. It didn't cater to this era doesn't really cater to his game.
Right.
So
And
I get it.
Also, another player that comes to mind, Magic Johnson, if he played today, would be
Yeah.
outstanding. Pace and space.
He would just
be
need-
Tyrese Halliburton times 10, if you ask me.
Well, he'd be much better at everything else except shooting, because
Yes.
that's the only thing that really holds him back. But again, put him on Boston, and you don't need to worry about shooting. Like
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Like you can function with one non-shooter on the floor. Like if you have a stretch 4 and 5, oh my god, that's such a luxury. Like imagine having like Tatum and Porzingis as your 4 and your 5.
yeah.
That's just insane.
Crazy.
Back then, I remember in 2008, the Nets were running out Nenad Kristic and Josh Boone. Like, I'd rather beat my head against a wall. Like, we've graduated to much, like, again, while the league's gone softer, the league has gotten way more talented. So imagine some of these guys in the past. If they had,
Right.
like I always said back in the past, I don't think he'd average 25 rebounds, but
Yeah.
imagine someone like Bill Russell in today's training regimen. Dude,
Yeah.
that would be so insane.
This is also always a fascinating conversation when we talk about changing players and switching out their eras and stuff like that.
Or imagine
Pretty cool.
Jokic in the 90s or the 80s.
People would be like, what the hell is he doing?
Exactly.
And why is this white guy so good? That's what they would say in the 90s.
Exactly.